Hi Libra, welcome to Spiritualista. This is your weekly energy forecast from the 20th until the 26th of October. And this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with everybody. But however, if you like a personalized deep dive reading, the link to my Etsy shop is below. And now let's see what the universe has in store for you guys this week. So Libra, please tap into Libra's energy from the 20th until the 26th of October. Let's check it out, guys. So let's pre-shuffle here for you. And let's see, Libra, what do we have for you this week? Please tap into Libra's energy from the 20th until the 26th of October. Please tap into the highest possible source for Libra, please. Let's see here. Okay, wait, something flipped. Yeah, okay, Knight of Pentacles. That's you in the present moment. Things are moving a little bit slow for you right now, but they're moving. They're moving. It's just that type of movement that you almost can't see. You can sense that there are shifts, but it's like, I always get the energy of the sunset from this card, or the sunrise for that matter. Like, you know how you can't actually see the movement? That's the point of the day where you can't actually look at the sun and see it moving. I mean, I wouldn't recommend maybe looking straight at the sun, maybe if you're into that, but yeah. Normally when it's up in the sky, you can't really see the movements, right? You just see the shadows occasionally, but when it's near the horizon, you can actually see it going down, but it's so slow. It's so slow. There's still a progress. You can still see the colors, the shifts, but it's almost right at the limit of your perception. That's the energy here with the Knight of Pentacles. So let's see. So I have the Knight of Swords. That's the contrast. Wow. This is all about speed. Very different energies, these two knights. So good. So it's going to balance itself out. That's your challenge, however. So such an interesting contrast, Libra. What's going on there? Seven of Swords on top of your mind. Huh. That's a strategy card, but also it could be a card about shadiness, right? It could be a card about someone around you, perhaps yourself, keeping secrets, omitting things, trying to hide your energy from others because you're scared of what they're going to think if they get to see what you're truly feeling on the inside. I'm sensing this for some of you. Maybe you met a Scorpio. Maybe there's a Scorpio in your life, and that those people are normally very intense and they're very intuitive. Any water sign really, but especially Scorpio. So could be that you have a presence around you. Of course, it doesn't have to be Scorpio, but someone that has that archetype energy of seeing right through you, like you're transparent. But it doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be you. You could be doing that to someone too. But it's that energy. However, it's that energy of someone trying to hide and someone trying to strategize, which usually leads to that sort of hiding behavior. Judgment. This is your bottom of the deck. No, this is your foundation energy. We haven't gotten to the bottom yet. So this is what's on your subconscious mind there. So you're going through quite a bit of an awakening this week. All right. Let's see what you're coming out of. Recent past. Two of Swords. I mean, I gotta say it. It's a very Libran card. Even though like it is Swords, of course, it is air, but it's just the indecision. It's that indecision space. Not really knowing. Kind of being on the fence, not really knowing which direction to go here. So that's what you're coming out of. That's good. So you've defeated that. And now you're in strength. So this is your near future. Beautiful, beautiful transition there. And so let's see your suggested approach, your advice from the universe this week. Oh, seen this so much today. I think, it's 3 in a row now. So Capricorn, we had Gemini, and now you. So this is the 8 of Wands. Again, all about speed. So you're being encouraged to move here. Even like it's likely that you are stuck. Yeah, I'm feeling the stuckness here from the Knight of Pentacles. Or maybe you're procrastinating something. Maybe you want to do something, but you're not really sure. You're still kind of like lingering in that Two of Swords, like stuckness, indecision energy. And universe is like, no, man, like now it's time. You have to make a decision. You have to pick a path here. You got to move. But we're going to talk more about this, of course. So we have the World here. This is your surrounding energy, so it's about completion. So we have the World and we have Judgment. So it's going to be, I'm not going to say intense week, but it's going to be a very transformative week for you. A week of closure here, that's for sure. All right, and then we have your hopes and fears here. We have the 3 of Cups. Interesting, especially with the 7 of Swords there. All right, and we have the Lovers. Beautiful. That's your potential future there. So that's good. That's good. That's also about a choice, by the way, but definitely could be about a connection here. So let's just, now we can check out the bottom of the deck. What is that? I'm just aligning the cards here on the table. So bottom of the deck, nice. Okay, so beautiful card there. So we have this 6 of Cups there as the bottom for you. So that's sweet. That's like nostalgic. That's you being a little bit innocent, a little bit childlike in your energy, reminiscing the past, perhaps a past connection that you've had, and maybe a person that's coming back from the past. So before I spoil the whole reading in the intro, well, let's look at the cards and let's get into it together here. So this here is a paradox. Like these two, they're your present moment, right? This is you right now. This is your challenge. And it's just, they're so contrasting energies. There are 2 knights, right? We have the Knight of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Swords there as your challenge. So, and they're so vastly different in energies. It's crazy. So this is why I'm like super fascinated by this combination, because they're super split, but at the same time, you are a Libra, so you're all about the scales, right? So of course it would happen in your spread to get these. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this first. So Knight of Pentacles is all about patience, right? It's all about moving very slowly and very intentionally in order to build stuff, right? To build things like piece by piece, like brick by brick, right? It's a very slow card. It's a very consistent, earthy energy. So it's about staying grounded, right? And yeah, like in romance, it could be about like wanting something that's reliable, like that's long lasting, rather than progress that's gonna feel very slow. You know, it's like a solid energy. It's a very solid energy that's very focused on the long game here. So there's lots of careful energy with this one. And yeah, and then we have the Knight of Swords, man. That's quite the opposite card. So that's your challenge, right? So that's where the tension is, where you still have this urge to just rush a little bit impulsively here and to kind of know something. I'm sensing that it's about finding out about something, but wanting to know it now, like immediately. The vision that I'm getting here is, I don't know if they work in this way anymore, but like when I was a kid, they would say this thing like stop the presses, you know, and I'm seeing this newspaper line, almost like an airport, sort of the band where you put the luggage, but you have like rows of newspapers that are just like super fast going in that band. And then there is sudden news that comes and they like stop the press, and they have to stop those and like kind of recall all those newspapers and just like reprint them with the news added into them. And it's just that fast movement. They're like, oh my God, no, I gotta find out now. That's the energy I'm getting. Like I'm seeing this like newspaper press. Like, I don't know if that has any meaning to any of you, but it's kind of, that's that energy that I'm sensing here. So I'm just gonna say it, right? So yeah, it feels like it's to do with communication. That's what I'm sensing here. And it's like you wanting to like speak very quickly, you're wanting to tell someone something, you're wanting to do it now, you wanted to hear from this person immediately. It's just like, it feels very impulsive, very, very impulsive. And especially if it's to do with a romantic situation here. I'm sensing that, yeah, you're very torn there because you're wanting to invest and like be like building this long term. Maybe you're not sure about this connection, but at the same time, you're like, I want to know it now. I want to sort of invest in it now, even though I don't know this person yet. So there is this huge urge to just push, like really push. Like in one here, one energy really wants this patience and the other one wants speed. So that's I get that's attention to you because you don't know what to do here. So yeah. It's an interesting contrast, man. Wow. It's like crazy. Yeah, just don't sabotage yourself with this, you know, just don't let that urgency sabotage any sort of foundation that you're building right now. Just like, it's okay to be in both and just find that little balance there. And you have the 7 of Swords at the top. So there's something here with trust that's going on for you. There's secrets here. So I feel that you're maybe questioning if someone is being fully like straight up honest with you. So you're feeling, I feel that you're very careful around the situation here. You're calculating what move this other person might make here. And it could also be you as well. It could be both. Normally when I see this card, I always sense that it goes both ways. So I feel that you're also holding back your own feelings here. And you're just like playing things quite close to your chest, which is why I feel that The Knight of Pentacles is there. Otherwise, it would have just been like Knight of Swords all over the place here. But I feel very kind of like you're almost hesitating a little bit to be completely vulnerable here. So, and I feel that it's to do with maybe not knowing for sure if this person has good intentions, if they're honest. So you're having to step into a place where you're not, yeah, you're scared of being vulnerable here. You're maneuvering things very carefully here. So, so there's that. There's that. There's some trust issues going on for you. And yeah, I feel this is maybe why you're wanting to have these answers very quickly, because you just want things out in the open here. But at the same time, you're very careful with what that's gonna mean if it happens. And like it's like get careful what you wish for sort of energy here. And we have Judgment at your foundation. So again, that's about truth as well, that card. And it's more about like realizing something big, like it's an awakening card. So it tells me that, yeah, you're definitely wanting to align with something that is more authentic here. So deep down, you're ready for that. And it's all about letting go of something too. I'm sensing that it's about letting go of something from the past here and just accept that it happened so that you can align with something that is more authentic to you. So it's to do a lot with self-honesty, this one here. And also forgiveness, I'm sensing that too. So yeah, it feels like you have a lot of baggage here. And I'm sensing this, especially with this card too. You're having a lot of baggage and you're needing to release that in order to step into something that is more real. So just make sure to rise above any past sort of patterns here. And just, yeah, ask yourself what you really want here, right? And what you're ready to let go of, because that's going to be important for you going into this week. We have the Two of Swords. So what's that? That's indecision. So, I mean, common card to see in the Libra spread. It's about being in limbo and sort of avoiding having to choose between two different paths because you're not ready to face the truth. So it's like a stalemate energy, right? And it's like setting the stage for this here, because that's the universe just like giving you, like opening the door for you to just having to face some sort of accountability here to get some clarity. So, yeah, you've been avoiding something here. I'm really hesitating to make a choice about something. And this could be your love life, this could be your job. It's something, I'm not sensing any specifics from this one, but definitely there's a limbo element here. Definitely there's a limbo that has been going on, and I feel like you're still sort of stuck in that energy, even here in the present with all of these cards showing up, especially with the Judgment and the Seven of Swords there. So there is something stuck in your energy still when it comes to that. Let me know in the comments. I'm always fascinated to hear how this resonates and what it is, because it's hard to pick on examples, like, especially I'm a Libra sun and Libra rising, but not a sun Libra. So I mean, I do have that story myself, but in my own way. So it would be interesting to hear yours. All right, in near future we have Strength. So good. That's you mastering your inner impulses here. That's you being very brave. So it tells me that in the near future, you're going to have to draw on resilience here and just make sure to release any insecurities that you feel around yourself, but do that with compassion here. So be gentle with yourself, right? And know that like any sort of intimacy that is going to be built on trust, right, is going to have to be built on compassion and lots of patience rather than force. So yeah, don't be too urgent, even with this Knight of Swords impulse here, right? Because that's where you're headed. You're headed towards this more balanced strength here, where you're not forcing any outcomes here. You're being more patient here. Still persistent, but in a gentle way, right? So yeah, make sure to, yeah, let yourself be a little bit vulnerable here, right? And that's gonna help you stay in this energy. And we have the Eight of Wands, Adjust Your Approach. So such a recurring card, especially for the air signs. Like, wow, I've seen this. Man, Capricorn had it too. Wow, it's like 3 times in a row that I'm seeing the Eight of Wands. And I do shuffle the cards in between, so it's not that. So, yeah, universe is telling you that your best approach right now is openness. It's flow. So make sure to not hold back your words too much, because it's a card about communication. Just make sure to express yourself here. Just allow any conversations to unfold here so that the energy can actually move forward. And it's also about synchronicity. I'm getting that. So I'm feeling that you're going to be sensing synchronicities here, and those are going to lead you to having quicker developments here. And also to accept situations and be more like, okay, they're being divinely guided. So maybe it's easier to make the choice when you can actually see that from the universe, that they're backing you to take one specific direction there, right? I mean, like you said, you have one door that says nothing, and then you have one door that says 1111. Like, I know which door I would have chosen, just saying. So there's that. Like, just communicate and say what you need to say. Don't overcomplicate things here, right? Don't control things here. So just let these conversations and these synchronicities unfold naturally for you. That's the advice there. And we have the world in your surrounding energy. So there's something around you right now with the energy of completion here and expansion. So it tells me that your environment is very much aligned with closure, but also new beginnings. That's the thing with this card. So there are some cycles wrapping up around you that are open in space for other ones to start. So yeah, there's definitely this energy of completion here going on, where something in your environment is shifting cycles. And yeah, could be a relationship, for example, that's stepping into a new phase, a more mature phase. If you are in a connection with someone, right, you're gonna be feeling more this sense of wholeness here, or you're feeling more mature in that and how you communicate in that, and there's this completion energy here. Or if it's about your job, this could be that. It could be a shift in your workplace, something that's going on there, shifting in positions, right? It could be like that they're rebuilding, they're gonna relocate you to some place, and then you're gonna realize that this place is better than the old place. You're gonna stay there, but it's definitely in your surroundings. So it could be any one of those. And we have the Three of Cups in your hopes and fears. So, that's a card about friendship. So on one hand, you're wanting that. You're wanting to feel this connection. And I mean, with the Lovers there, I'm sensing a lot of romance in this spread. So it could be that. It could be that you want to experience this romance that feels a little bit more fun and like lighthearted. So I feel that you're hoping for that. You're wanting those unions to show up, right? You want people to come together. Like, you maybe want to hang out with your friends and your partner. You want everybody to be socializing, right? There's like this social element to this. So yeah, and with the fear, like the tension, it feels like it could be like I'm getting like a third party thing here, where you're kind of scared of outside interference here, like third party energy here. So that's interesting. That is interesting, because I know it is a third party card, but I haven't really sensed that yet in any of these spreads with that card, but I'm doing it today. So it could be, I'm gonna try and say this very lightly, because I don't want to be saying things that are going to affect people too much, because this is still a general rating, so take it as you want. You know, don't make all your life choices depending on what I'm saying here. But I'm sensing that it could be either that the person that you are connected with is maybe not involved physically with someone, but that you suspect that there is still an emotional attachment to another person, or that you are doing that and you are trying to connect with someone, but you still have feelings for someone else. And you're trying to suppress those feelings, but you occasionally still fantasize about them, you have dreams about them, and you kind of feel like it's cheating a little bit. I'm not sensing that it's going to be necessarily that you're cheating for real, you're going out and meeting this person. I feel like you might be disconnected, but there's still an energy that is attached to this, a third party energy that is attached to this here. And yeah. And just saying, like, it's general, so a lot of people are going to be watching this. It doesn't have to be that, right? Just saying, it doesn't have to be that. Make sure to sometimes realize that it can be also in your head. So it could be your own insecurities. So maybe this person has moved on entirely, but maybe they still work together with this person, or maybe they're still neighbors. I don't know. And you're sort of paranoid that they're still going to be talking and they're still going to be hooking up. And even though this person that you are with now has moved on and closed that door, in your head, it hasn't happened. And you know, that's creating some sort of paranoia, third-party energy. I'm getting that. So just wanted to say that. But positive note, we have the Lovers. So that's a beautiful potential future. So very, very powerful card, especially for romance and connection. Yeah, tells me that the future is holding some meaningful choice here in love. So there is an opportunity here for your union or your connection here to align in a deeper way, right? And where you're going to be aligning maybe more of your values together, and something more divine is going to guide this connection to the potential to deepen, yeah, in a more significant way, basically, right? It's going to feel more intimate, yeah, and it's going to feel more honest. So that's a really good outcome, right? It's a really good outcome. So it's going to be a connection that feels more real and deeper here. So yeah, and if you're still dating, like, this is a card that could show up if you're moving from that space of just possibility to actually commitment here. But it's going to require honesty, and it's going to require very conscious choices here. So yeah, you can't half step into this space, right? You have to go all in for it. Like, it asks for your entire energy. So make sure to do that. That's why you have to be very honest about this if this is what you want, right? And we have the bottom of the deck, so 6 of Cups. So yeah, that's the energy influencing the whole thing, right? It's about memories. Usually it's about soul connections here. Very nostalgic energy, very much like stories from the past, like bonds, soulmates, right? Connections that felt very innocent, familiar, right? Like pure. So usually it's soulmate energy. It's like a past life bond sort of thing. And it's relationships that have that connection, right? That sense that you've met this person before, and you have this sort of like almost like a DNA memory or like a soul memory of this person that's guiding this connection. So definitely I'm sensing a soul bond here. It could be with this person, but it could also be with the old person, which is why they're still lingering in your energy, because you're sort of like still in this space here, just doubting if they were the one. If they were the one, and if you should be really invested in this new energy here. So I feel that there is a little bit of doubt over that, but you're gonna be sensing, regardless, this very deep connection here that feels sort of timeless. So feels like a love story here. It's definitely a love spread, this one. It's and it's all about guiding you towards something deeper here. So make sure to balance this. These two very different energies. Make sure to have that patience, right? But still act. Just don't do it very impulsively. Have compassion with yourself. Be vulnerable, you know. And yeah, we have the little shadiness there, you know. We're gonna be questioning honesty this week, but you're gonna be awakening, especially with Judgment here. And you're still in this indecision energy, this hesitation energy a little bit, but you're learning. So just make sure to communicate this week. Be very honest. Stay very open. Allow things to pick up a little bit of speed here and momentum to carry you forward, right? And yeah, and that's going to be what's guiding you here, where you're going to be having this connection that's going to be feeling very fated. So this week is all about moving with patience, right? But also speaking your truth and understanding that, yeah, patience is the key here. So whatever is meant for you is going to unfold. It's always going to unfold. But it has to do so in divine timing. That's the thing. And that's all I have for you today, Libra. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this reading resonated. And if so, please make sure to give it a like and let me know in the comments below which part resonated the most with you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for your weekly energy forecasts. Okay, bye!